Have you ever scrolled down a celebrity's social media page and thought, I wonder what living like that is like? Lucky for you, we're here to tell you that one doesn't have to stop at wondering because it is in fact achievable. Living the celebrity lifestyle without the luxury cost, is that even possible? Yes, we'll be sharing 5 tips to living your dream lifestyle. Welcome to Luxo-Life, your partner towards personal growth and success. We can offer you the best tips on finances, updates on the economy, and general life advice. Subscribe to our channel if that's your cup of tea. Now, let's get to it! Number 5. Check for brands from the same locality. There exist brands that create goods that utilize the same raw materials, process them just as exquisitely as the more well-known luxury brands, but sell them for less. In South Korea, plenty of luxury skincare items come from the same select factories that process their ingredients and products. In Italy, several brands use the same paletteries to select their leather and even have their products made in the same shared factories. The experts in charge of the different levels of production are the same, and they are all quality checked by the same specialists, except you can get the items for several $100s less. Surprising, isn't it? A lot of what you're paying for when you buy big-name luxury brands is their marketing costs and, well, their name. While the quality of their materials is as good as they promise, a good chunk of their price isn't for that nor the labor cost. If you don't mind the prestige of not owning these mainstream brands but still want the luxury experience, then buy from these lesser-known boutiques. You'll effectively bypass that huge cost and still enjoy luxury. You'd say that works alright. A good starting point is looking for brands that sell in the same region, and the locals are inarguably the best source for that. Maybe before visiting the country, you can befriend locals online who'll help you with your research. Ask about the product niche and if there's any they can recommend. You can also check out local boutiques as you wander the area and inspect the products yourself. And if looking by region doesn't work out, then expand your search nationwide. If a country is especially known for a certain export, then you can expect there to be an array of choices. Search online for the bigger factories and check out the brands in close proximity. Number 4. Learn to DIY. Celebrities don't just wear or use luxury, they also live in it, from the carpets to the curtains to the cushions. These are items you don't really associate with luxury, as celebrities are more prone to showing off their sports cars than their pillowcases. Nevertheless, it's something achievable to start, especially if you're not the kind that's fond of clothes and cars to begin with. Most of the costs attached to luxury goods come from their installation or shipping costs. If you try to check out wallpaper online, for example, there will be added costs for the shipping, the tools and the glue, and the servicemen, among others, and the prices can rack up. If they provide clear instructions and it isn't very dangerous, with enough research, you can do it yourself. You can also ignore shipping costs by going to the physical boutique. If there aren't any gains from vouchers or discounts from purchasing online anyway, then just drive to the place. Number 3. Look for a network of luxury item resellers. People can eventually get sick of their purchases. The initial excitement there is when buying luxury items can wear off, and that's okay. Novelty can be subjective. The good news is that to someone else, the item is still desirable. Reselling luxury items is very possible. There are networks of resellers and buyers that deal with luxury goods. You just have to look for one in your area. Seek out social media groups or pages. Some of them cater to more specific products, but you can also find ones that are more like general stores, where they can just deal with all sorts of items, from accessories to clothing to even car parts. The items are often sold for over 50% off already, but they're still in very good condition. If you intend to sell your luxury items in these markets, then you should also take care of yours so they can still be sellable. This is common practice. In fact, even celebrities try to curate their collections so that the items will stay marketable for a long period of time. This is also one of the reasons why services for the repair of luxury goods are readily available. Be cautious when buying from strangers though. Always ask for the receipt of the purchase so you can verify its authenticity. Some items can even come with certificates from the boutique. These days, items can even have codes that work like identification cards that you can verify on the store's website or with a store clerk. Of course, you can't really choose the sizing since they're second-hand, but for items you can modify easily, such as clothes, there's always the option of having them resized. The tips we've shared so far sounded good, didn't they? Well, wait until you hear the next two. Number 2. Look at each purchase long-term. A lot of factors into the decision-making process of buying luxury goods. The usual thought process is that it must be something you desire, something you can see yourself enjoying, and something you can afford. But that shouldn't be all. You can also consider what convenience the purchase will give you or whether it will improve your quality of life. All these questions account for how long you will find yourself using the item. Let's take it a step further and bring in some math. Once you've found the item of your liking, sit back and think for a moment. How much would you pay for its every use? Say you use your shoulder bag 3 times a week, and you estimate that you still want to keep using it for 2 years straight. Is using that $2,700 bag for $865 per day worth the cost? Would you rent the luxury bag for that amount per use? Another thing you should also consider asking yourself is whether the item is something you can resell. Check the item's cost if it's sold used. Is it still priced reasonably for how long it's been used? This is also a way for you to gauge how difficult or easy it is to maintain the item. You're also incentivized to take good care of your purchases because you have to make sure they'll last long enough that they can still be sold right after. You don't have to make the item is still something you would still want for the rest of your life before making a purchase, but at least make sure that by the time you're sick of it, the item will still retain its key qualities. Thinking long-term opens a lot of possibilities regarding the item's lifespan and your buying habits. Number 1. Cultivate an abundance mindset. Of course, we can't end this video without leaving you a mindset tip. Have you ever heard of abundance thinking? In abundance thinking, you accept that there's enough to go around and that there will always be options, choices, and resources. This encourages you to be positive and resilient. Don't think that you can't. Ask yourself when you can make it happen. Don't focus on what you lack and don't have. How'd you do that? Let's do this short exercise. Think of an item you truly desire. Don't limit yourself to something you can afford at this moment. Is it a car, a beach house, a jewelry collection, anything? Don't imagine it as something out of reach, but as something you're yet to have. That way, it's easier to convince yourself that you can make it happen. It's always within reach, and buying will always be achievable. There are unlimited chances, so you don't have to fear you'll miss out. When you adopt an abundance mindset, you will see the situation at scale, which makes it easier for you to plan how to get it. Set benchmarks of progress to encourage and motivate yourself to work harder. Working extra hours isn't a waste of time if you focus on the aspect that hard work translates to progress. Believing that the item is up for you to have also makes it easier for you to find ways to make it happen. If it isn't the extra hours of work, then maybe it's building a good credit score, so borrowing them from a bank is an option. You were just served tips and tricks courtesy of yours truly. If you dream of living like a celebrity, then remember the last tip. Tell yourself you're about to live it. Make your dreams and goals and always think they are possible. So, Luxo lovers, didn't we just make you say wow? Were any of them new to you? Share your thoughts with us and other viewers below. We hope you learned new things. Don't forget to leave us a like, and if you're new, subscribe for more of the same content. See you in the next video.